A week ago I went rock climbing and I haven't walked since. So back in the summer our family got a rock climbing membership together. We're all newbies to rock climbing and it was a fun family activity that everybody seemed to really like. And we decided to pause our membership during the fall and the nice weather and do active things outside that don't cost money during that time, and then reactivate the membership in the winter. So the countdown was on until January when we would start our membership again, and on Monday we did that. We all went rock climbing as a family, everything was great. But Friday was the last day of the girls' winter break from school, so I took them rock climbing. So we get in there, get our rock climbing shoes on, we get all ready, we go in and we start choosing our routes, and each of us is going climbing. And we're bouldering, which is when you're rock climbing but you're not wearing a harness. It's not like you climb up and then you fall down wearing the harness. It's you climb up without a harness and then you jump down onto a big mat. So when you do that, you climb up the wall and you either drop down to the mat, or you can kind of back climb down a little lower and then drop down. And when you drop down, your goal is to land on your feet and fall backward. So you hit the mat, feet, then butt, then back. And you keep your hands, like they teach you to keep your hands up here so you don't accidentally try to lean back on your hand and put too much weight there, thereby injuring your hand or your wrist or your arm or whatever. So usually, because I am overly cautious, I will climb up my route and then I will back climb and then drop down when I feel sure that I'm safe to do that and I'm not gonna hurt myself. So I choose my route, and this route is a little bit different to me than the routes I've done in the past, because instead of the route going straight up, the wall in this place goes up and then it has kind of like an outcrop like that. So you climb up and then you kind of climb out over the ground. So I do that, I get to the top and I decide I'm going to drop from there instead of back climbing, which I've seen my kids do plenty of times. I've seen Ken do. I figure I can do this. Well, so my hands are here and I let my feet leave the wall. So my body is dangling. I'm holding on with both hands from the top hold. And before I drop, this all happens quickly in my mind. Before, I don't think about how I'm gonna land too much because my mind automatically goes to, okay, I'm hanging. I don't want to hurt my shoulders by hanging here too long and straining my arms and shoulders. And I don't want to hurt my hands because when you haven't been climbing in a while, you don't have calluses, you can rip your skin open. And I do not want that. So my thoughts quickly go to, okay, don't stay here too long. I think what happened was, as I'm hanging there, my body is kind of swinging a little bit back and forth. And I must have swung backward more than I realized right before I let go to drop, because I landed with my weight more forward than it should have been. So I land and my first thought is, I didn't land right. Because my second thought was recognizing the pain in my ankle. So if my hand is my foot and my arm is my leg, I landed like this and my weight went forward so that my leg went over my foot more than it should. So my weight kind of drove my knee and my shin forward too far and put a lot of pressure in this part of my ankle. And that's where all the pain was like in here on my ankle. I land, those thoughts all go through my head, I recognize the pain, and I end up laying on my back. And I'm looking up and Talia's up on the wall because she and I picked routes near each other. And she's going up and I'm going up, but my route kind of goes to the side, so I end up closer to her than when we started. And she's done her route and she's looking down and she wants to drop. She's tired and she's like, Mom, move, because she doesn't want to hit me when she falls. So I roll over a couple times, she drops. I get up on my knees and I'm like, yeah, I can't walk on the mat, so I just knee my way off the mat. And pretty quickly realize, as I'm carefully trying to test putting weight on my foot, that yeah, I'm definitely done climbing for the day and I'm going to have to limp. And at this point, I'm more concerned about not looking stupid. I'm trying not to go too slow or look too limpy, but it's not going well. So I sit on a bench and I watch the girls climb the rest of the time, take a couple pictures and videos of them climbing and having a great time. And then we get ready to leave. And on the way home, we needed to stop at a store. And I was thinking at this point, like, maybe it's not that bad, it'll slowly get better. So I kind of slowly limp into the store behind the girls, and they go shopping, and as soon as I get in the store, I'm just like, I cannot keep doing this. So I find a bench, I sit down, and I just wait for them to finish. And we get home, and basically I end up in bed with my foot elevated, icing it, resting it. And the rest of that day, all I could think about was the fact that I had signed up for a ballet class that started on Monday. This happened on a Friday. So I'm thinking, chances of being able to go to ballet, I don't think I'm going on Monday, and good chance I'm gonna have to cancel this term that I've signed up for, which is really disappointing because I haven't done ballet in many years and I've always loved it, and I was really excited that I had made the decision to do this. So Friday, the rest of the day into the evening was just really sad for me. I was just so sad that this had happened, so sad thinking about, you know, like wondering how bad of an injury this was, thinking about like, is this going to be a long-term issue? Is this going to, how long am I going to be sore for? Is this going to limit my mobility? Blah, 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 blah. And so that day was just really sad. I'm like up in the night in pain, crying. It's not fun. Day 2, Saturday, I decide to go to a walk-in clinic. I take Talia with me. It's downtown. We have to park on the side of the street. Talia ends up giving me a piggyback ride down the street. It's quite an adventure. I finally get in to see the doctor, and she determines that it's not likely a break, which I'm not surprised about because at this point it's not super swollen. It doesn't look bruised. And the fact that I can carefully put weight on it, but only in a certain position. So she orders an x-ray just to confirm, and she gives me a prescription for an anti-inflammatory and recommends using crutches and resting it as much as I can until it starts to feel better. We stop at a pharmacy on the way home to get that prescription, and just handling that has exhausted me. I'm sore, I'm tired. By the time we get home, straight to bed, nap for the rest of the afternoon, wake up, think it's morning, but it's evening, like I'm just done for the day. Sunday is more of the same, spending the day in bed as much as possible. I've got crutches, and I'm realizing that I must have landed on my hands somewhat, maybe after I hit with my ankle, because when I use the crutches, especially my left hand, it gets very sore very quickly, and it kind of feels like it got maybe a little jammed when I landed. So crutches become more of a challenge than I expected. I thought they would be a relief and I'd be zooming around the house in crutches, but no. It hurts when I use crutches for my hands, so I can't manage that for very long. And before crutches, I was trying to get around sitting on an office chair like a wheelchair or something, trying to scoot with my one foot. Neither of those options are working great. Attempting to kind of limp in a weird way I can't do it for very long without it getting really sore. I did try hopping around on one foot for a while, then that foot starts getting sore. So it's like every option I've exhausted, and I cannot move around for very long at all. At one point I tried crawling, but that hurt my knees because our floors are hard. And then I resorted to like putting my knees onto my like moccasin slippers to try to give them some padding, which worked for a while, but I like got to the door of my bedroom and was like, yeah, no, I can't keep doing this. So I've been spending most of my time in bed as much as I can, both to rest my foot and because getting around is just comically ridiculous. Thankfully, I have a laptop and I can work from bed. So then yesterday was Thursday, and I finally got my x-ray, and all I know is that the technician didn't see an obvious break, which is not a surprise to me, and now I just wait for results to confirm that there isn't some minor, smaller, hidden hairline thing or something like that. So it's been a week since it happened now, and finally felt like I could document what had happened. I'll just say, I'm still figuring out what I want to do with this channel, and I have all these different ideas, and sometimes I feel like not trying them because one idea doesn't fit with the other idea, and one thing might be more for my own interest than for other people watching it, and it's like I can't decide exactly what I'm trying to do yet, and I think I won't be able to figure that out until I experiment some more. So it's kind of an experimental video, just getting down my experience to document it. And I realize there are much more entertaining ways to do it than I have done it, but I am stuck in bed, and it's either documented this way or not documented at all. So it is what it is.